What's up, people of God? What's up? It's Sunday. You know what time it is. You know what day it is. Like and share, like and share. We'll go live in a minute. You got 1 minute. Like and share, like and share. Listen, somebody needs this word today. Somebody's going to be blessed by this conversation. Go ahead, share, like and share, like and share. Like and share, like and share. While you're busy liking and sharing, I'm getting ready to let the IG crew in. Like and share, like and share. Like and share, like and share. Yes, love always share. All right. Woo, man, it's always something. It's always something. Let me tell you about today. So we had a whole different program, a whole different set of programming scheduled for today. But we've been having technical issues. Let me tell y'all, we've been having technical issues since we've had the incident at the church. I ain't saying causation means correlation means causation. I'm just saying what I'm saying, that we've been having internet issues since that day. We had a whole different sort of programming schedule for you. Come on in, like and share as you're coming in on IG. Share some, give us some heart, share some love. We want to feel the love. Share some love. If you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us some likes. We want the likes. We want the love this morning. I'm not going to be before you long. The hour is already well spent. Hopefully you got a chance to go over to the main sanctuary. Pastor Dirk was on fire this morning, giving us a recipe for resistance. I want to add I'm going to do a little bit. I want to add one more ingredient. As we talk about going back to school for this demographic, for our chosen generation youth, our young people, I want to talk about how we add that one ingredient that we need to add to the recipe for resistance for this demographic. And so I hope that you enjoy that today. But like I said, man, we're off to a rocky start with all the internet issues, connection issues. We had planned to showcase our second episode of our Courageous Conversations. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that we post that to YouTube and Facebook, and try to make sure that we do something else with that. Maybe we'll broadcast it Wednesday. because for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to work today. But we're going to go ahead. You know why? Because we're always prepared. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about be prepared. Be prepared. And I was going to start this message by playing a little bit, a pre-sermon selection from The Lion King. Y'all know about that. Y'all know about Scar, who, you know what I'm saying, took over Pride Rock. And he was telling, his goons, be prepared. I want to talk about that today. I want to get into it. I want to talk about being prepared today as we move through the text. Oh my goodness, it's doing it again. We're having more issues. This is craziness, but it's all good. God gonna get the glory anyway. All right, if you got your Bibles, I want you to go with me to the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, verse 13. So 1 Peter 1, chapter 13. Get your Bibles ready. We prepared. We ready. It ain't going like we wanted it to go, but we're prepared and we're ready. And we know that God is going to be pleased anyway. 1 Peter 1, verse 13. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. It's a mouthful. I'm sorry, y'all. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. As you coming in, give us a wave. Show us some hearts. Like and share, because somebody, again, probably needs this word today. Be prepared. Matter of fact, somebody dropped that in the comment section. Hashtag be prepared. Hashtag be prepared. You never know what's coming. You never know what's going to go on, but you always want to do what? You always want to be prepared. I want to talk about that today from 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Okay, here we go. Therefore, with minds that are alert and fully sober, set your hope on the grace to be brought to you when Jesus Christ is revealed at his coming. That's 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Again, drop that. Be prepared in the comment section. Drop hashtag be prepared in the comment section. Like and share, because somebody needs this word today. Be prepared. Therefore, 1 Peter 1:13. Therefore, with minds that are alert and fully sober, set your hope on the grace to be brought to you when Jesus Christ is revealed at his coming. Pastor Dirk talked about the recipe for resistance this morning, and I think that preparation is one more ingredient that I want to add to the youth box, right? Young people take their lunch to school. So event, poor performance, and my guy GLC says, I'm giving myself away. GLC said, poor preparation, proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's a Chicago reference. Shout out to the Chicago folks. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. But there's another sort of quote that I want us to think about this morning from, it's not GLC. They take chips to school. I know, right? This quote is not from GLC. It's from my guy, Malcolm X. And Malcolm says that the future belongs to those. This is what he said. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And here's the truth of the matter. We really don't know, as I've been saying since this pandemic began. We just don't know how things are going to play out. We don't know as school is back to school is right around the corner. And it seems as though our local and our state and our government officials are making preparations to have folks back in the classroom. We as a community need to be prepared. You as a student need to be prepared. You don't know we don't know what the classroom situation is going to look like. We don't know what learning is going to be. We don't know how effective we're going to be at learning. We don't know how effective we're going to be at teaching. But the best thing that we can do, despite what we don't know, is to always be prepared. The future, Malcolm says, belongs to those who make preparation for it today. Here's what I want you to know about the civil rights movement, because we talk a lot about the civil rights movement at our church because we're a justice church. That's just what we desire. But the civil rights movement was not just a bunch of people making up their minds to go out into the streets. No, child of God. They went behind closed doors before they went out into the streets, and they were strategic. They strategized. They thought through what their next step was going to be. They thought about how they were going to proceed with their protests. There was always preparation. Why? Because proper preparation prevents poor performance. Shout out to my guy GLC. Listen to what Peter says, though, to this group of people who are also dealing with uncertainty. Peter is writing to a group of people who are dealing with false prophets. They're dealing with persecution. They're dealing with the fact that they don't have any certitude about what tomorrow is going to bring. They may walk out into the town square and be identified as one of those Jesus followers and find themselves in deep trouble. Because back then, it was cool to persecute Christians. And Peter says to his disciples, listen, your mind must be what? Alert and vigilant and sober. Therefore, he says, with minds that are what? Alert and fully sober. Set your hope. And I'm going to come back to that, on the grace to be brought to you when Jesus Christ is revealed at his coming. We're going to come back to that. But the requirement that Peter offers, the resolution that Peter offers this group of people is, guess what? Keep your mind sober and stay alert. In other words, always be prepared. I want to talk about that because I was thinking about, I thought about was what? Be prepared. He terrorized his community. He was a holy nuisance to those who he was supposed to take care of, but he was prepared. He was prepared to do destruction. He was prepared to plant seeds of wickedness and discord. What we have to understand, and one of the reasons why Peter writes this letter to these believers, is because he wants them to know that they have to be prepared because their enemy is prepared. Oh, you didn't know. Your enemy is prepared. Peter also says it like this, that your enemy goes to and fro through the earth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Your enemy is always prepared, and because he is prepared or she is prepared, you must also be ready. As we're talking about Black the Future this month, we're talking about decorating and curating a Black future of possibility, a Black future of joy and possibility. Well, in order to do that, we got to be ready and we got to be prepared. Let me give you three things. Three things that are going to help us be prepared. Drop that in the comment section. Hashtag be prepared. If this become comfortable with being uncomfortable. In order to be truly prepared, we got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Listen, the hard work of fighting for freedom, the hard work of doing the work of justice, the hard work of justice is uncomfortable work. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And in order to truly do it, you've got to be okay with being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with being inconvenienced. You have to be okay with the fact that things are not always going to go the way that you want them to go. You must always be prepared by being okay with being uncomfortable. Many people in my family have served in the military, and one of the things that they tell you about boot camp is that boot camp is specifically designed to get you prepared or to get battlefield scenarios. 9 times out of 10 are scenarios that make one uncomfortable. Sleeping on hard ground, not having anything soft to lay on, having to turn your helmet into a pillow, having to learn how to sleep out in the elements, in the cold or in the extreme heat without any kind of sheltering, right? It's a course, a crash course in learning how to be uncomfortable. I think many of us are so comfortable with having things the way that we want, having things the way that we like. This pandemic and all these other kinds of things that have popped up make us very uncomfortable. And because we're not prepared to be discomforted and to be to be inconvenienced, it's difficult for us. Here's what I want you to know: get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you'll be successful anywhere. The Marine who learns, right, how to sleep out in the elements never has to worry about what? Never has to worry about attempt to go back to school with things that are unclear, as we attempt to go into new uncharted territory with the digital learning and learning online in ways that we've never tried to do it before. All of us, teachers, students, parents, the entire community, we have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that is where growth is. Here's number two. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Here's number two. You also must embrace making mistakes. Ooh, man, this is my word. Now I'm preaching to myself. Somebody drop me some hearts if this is your word right here. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, but then you got to learn how to embrace making mistakes. Because you're gonna make some. You're gonna make some mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. What Missy Elliott said, nobody's perfect, but you're perfect for me, right? No, none of us are perfect. And the truth of the matter is, we're going to continuously make mistakes. That's where growth happens. That's how that's how growth discloses itself to us. It is not through our successes that we learn, but through our failures. Now I'm preaching to the teacher would oftentimes return your test with your mistakes identified. And the reason why the teacher gave you back those mistakes, so that you could see, right, where you made a mistake, is because oftentimes those same questions were going to appear on the final exam. And if you took the time to learn the mistakes that you made on the test, you had a better chance of passing or getting a higher grade on the final exam. Here's what I want you to understand, young people: embrace mistakes. Bless Me 1428 says mistakes are the teacher. That's it. Your mistakes are your teacher. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to be foolish. If you keep making the same mistake over and over again, you're not learning from the mistake. You clearly enjoy making the mistake. And at that point, it's not a mistake, it's a choice. But when we're talking about mistakes, we're talking about, right, the things that we don't foresee. We're talking about walking in our own power, in our own knowledge, in our own might, not understanding the pitfalls, not seeing the ill thought, right? Not understanding how ill thought sometimes our plans could be, not sensing, not that we have the opportunity to embrace and to learn from. Here's the last thing. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You got to learn how to embrace mistakes. And then here's the third: seek self-improvement constantly. You want to be prepared? Continue every day to get better. Did you know that that's really the message of the gospel? That's really the message of the scriptures. When Paul talks about crucifying the flesh and dying daily, he's talking about consistent self-improvement. Every day you are presented with an opportunity, a choice. The choice is to stay the way you are or get at least a little bit better. If we're going to be prepared for this new world that we're about to inhabit, a world that we've never seen before, a world that many of us don't understand, we don't have the tools or the skill set or the resources, guess what? You have to make a decision, a constant decision, a daily decision to seek self-improvement. You can do that in a myriad of ways. Make a decision to read a book a day. If you don't think you can read a book a day, read a page of a book that challenges you every day. Do a math problem every day. Inspire yourself, right? Sit down and create some work of art every day. Pray and meditate every day. Read the scriptures and seek the scriptures for some deeper level of understanding of God every day. Challenge yourself and hold yourself to a standard based not on what happened before, not based on what others have done, but based on what God is calling you to do. Y'all, that's the word for today. Be prepared. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to come. And your job, our job, is to make sure that we have the skill set necessary to achieve and to accomplish what it is that God has set before us. Have you to do. Be prepared.